Have to worry about that.
Well, I have it open, so
Have
I
to
can tell
worry
you.
about that. All right, folks, we are live. This is Rekla, and with me is Radin. So we have yet another purist cast for you. We'll try not to be too racist, but already, I gotta favor the human here.
Yeah, I think Kid should win this, but it'll be close.
I tell you
I
what,
think it
man, I
depends who's
actually don't
better
know.
at.
I just said that, but here's the thing. Aerial jungler is really good against hitters. It's just that drop kick in a 5 room is kind of insane. So,
Yeah,
to an extent, dirt kicks and spirits will help. That's probably the strategy that he needs to use. I would say dirt kick, uh, spirit rescue if you can, although Kid will probably flee off that and just wait it out because that's how you win. And then Asjub just showed up on my screen and then left. Okay, that was distracting. But anyway, I think Kid is smart enough to wait out the spirit rescues. But if you're RO, you're still going to go for rescues. You're going to keep him off you as much as you can, and you're going to screech. So it's going to be a fun fight.
yeah. I think it's mostly about who can keep the other blind. If Kid can get Oro blind, he doesn't really have an option. There's nothing he can really do about it.
It
And Kid can just
is.
drop kick and disarm him, spam dirt on the spirit when it comes up.
He can. I mean, RO can weapon toss too. I mean, it's fantastic. But a few things are going to be factors here. Kid doesn't have healing. RO does. So the longer that he can bottleneck the fight, the better off he will be. I think dropkick is good on aerials, but junglers are capable of handling healers or hitters rather fairly well. So we'll just see how it goes. I am
Yeah, I'd
also
say with odds on Kid, I think it's a good bet. It's a risky bet, but it's a good bet. It'll be close fight no matter what.
and I am gonna
Or
go ahead
sorry,
and get in.
odds on Oro, not on Kid.
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that, but we'll see. I think Aro can certainly win this fight. It's just I would still give Kid odds here, but I do have the Twitch TV chat up for anybody who wants to make use of the chat room here. And if you have questions, just log into the chat and ask, and I'll try to cover those in the interim. But we are 1 minute until. So here we go. If you're Kid, I guess that you hit R hard. You try to keep spirits dirted. You focus on dropkick. I mean, that's really all you have to do, right?
Honestly, I would just focus on keeping him blind, and if he rescues, then just flee and re-init,
Okay,
and then
yeah.
drop
Oh,
kick.
that's another thing. Well, Aro can mitigate this by dirt kicking, but he can actually flee re-init off spirits and Aro if Aro leaves him able to see, which I don't predict happening, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's really, really going to depend on who keeps who blind. Because if Kid gets the blind first, obviously dirt kick is really hard to land when you're blind. So it has a much higher fail chance when you're blind.
I
So
agree with you
Oro's going to have a hard
completely.
time.
I agree with you completely. I think that the dirt off the top of each tick is going to be really important in timing here. Kid does
Oh, he
begin
goes
with
with the
the
drop
drop.
kick.
Yeah, Spirit should be up here shortly.
He's probably failing.
Yeah, from the dirt. Yeah, or drop rather. He has not gotten one up yet. He does get dirted off the top of the tick. There are 34 seconds left on that. Aro is using divine dark staff, so he's killing potions, which is a very good thing.
Yeah, I would not go for the weapon toss while you're blinded and stunned.
Yeah,
That's just not
you
winning.
certainly need to get the spirit up as soon as possible and just make it very irritating to hit you because aerials don't have a lot of health. They have about 1500 health. You can't afford to gamble it away.
Yeah, he needs to get this next dirt blind off. If he keeps getting blinded by Kid, then Kid's just gonna wreck him.
A weapon stun, which not used to seeing that on a human, but
Yeah. Ooh, that's lucky.
it is, yeah. And that
Very
is
lucky.
again off. You're talking about the second dirt, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Aro
he's
is
stun
in
locked.
red. He is stun locked, and he is in the southern wall. If you guys don't know, we went over this, but one room exits are notoriously difficult to flee from.
All right, so he's gonna be spamming healing, using up all his
He's
mana
going to
now.
be Song of Healing if I'm Aro. I mean, I would have done it a little before then. He does get the spirit up fondly. I would play center room in order to keep as many exits as possible. I would try to stay in that room, and I would use spirits to rescue off dirts. He does get a target off.
Yeah, that's not a bad strategy. Opening with the drop kick, which will probably cause
The dirt to fail, yeah.
yeah, and then targeting, and now he's used flea re-knitting.
But again, look at this. Kid is in yellow, and that round could have gone off on Aro. The sooner the spirit is out, the better. Weapon toss is going off now. That's a good strategy. Kid did drop kick right off that, which means he would be weaponless for a little bit. He re-wields. He didn't take too much damage there. It's a very slow battle. I mean, jonglers are so good at defending, even with dropkick. So again, if you're Aro, he used Monogear correctly. You just keep that spirit up, 100% uptime. You make sure that you get those dirts. One is coming up in 7 seconds now. And then you just rescue off and you use your mana and you take your time.
He's really lucky with the dirt kicks.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And Aro does get dirted off that. Again, this is a dirt game here. It's who gets it off on the top of the tick first. But Aro is getting some good damage out. Spirit does rescue. It's another thing. Kid has the... That was a bad round. Weapon toss does go off. Kid is in red. This might be Aro's game.
He didn't re-wheel. That's not good.
Aro getting huge rounds off. And as Phil likes to say, aerials in offensive, when they can afford to do it, are pretty good.
This is going to be very close.
It's going to be very close.
And Oro has top rounds too.
Also important to note, Aro is in the center of the Coliseum, meaning he has several exits to flee from.
At this point, if I was Kid, I would just drop kick, screw dirt kick.
I mean, Aro still has that spirit to rescue. It's probably low health.
It's almost dead. Very close. There
Re-up the spirit. Re-up the spirit. Come on, summon it up.
He might not have the mana. Oh,
he has it. So now we see. He still needs to not wimpy so much that the spirit can't rescue, but does it get the drop off? Rescue off that? Come on.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
That was a great fight.
Very, very close. That was a good target at the end.
That was really well fought by both competitors. I would say if I were Aro, I would have gotten the spirit up much sooner, but wow, that was a great matchup. So kudos to Alice there for pairing that up.
There was a moment in the beginning where he was like trying to weapon toss him without a spirit up and things like that while blinded. That's just, I don't know if that's a good idea. You're just getting drop kicked over and over again. There's really not much you can do. At the very least, I would just flee. Like I wouldn't fight. I would just keep fleeing, try to go back to the center room and flee off the drop kick until your blind wears off.
And Kid does yell another bird battered and fried, which it's good to have smack talk after you win fresh. But that was still a great fight.
I still remember when I fought Kid in the arena and he summoned Diana to Vampy and Diana dispelled him. I'm sure that's in the bloopers thread somewhere.
I remember actually Albert and I were talking about that earlier. But I do have a few questions from the Twitch chat. One was TJ said earlier, why do you think Aro isn't summoning a spirit while Kid's blind? He should have a little earlier in order to maximize the potential. That came down so close that I'm going to go ahead and say he could have won that fight in that current context. As far as burning Kid down, You don't want to be caught in screech and cause fat lag while Kid is drop kicking. You want to focus on rescues. Mitigate as much damage as possible for you because you're going for the long run.
I think Oro should have been more on top of the dirt kicks. That was like such an important part of his strategy, and he didn't stay on top of it. Not to like rag on him,
Of
whatever,
course, yeah.
but if he like Kid always got the first dirt kick